For a rulership is coming, and the kingdom of heaven will be on earth. Righteousness will be spread throughout the whole four corners of the earth. Wickedness will be put down.
The power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, and in due time he will set over one that is profitable. In the hand of God is the prosperity of man, and upon the person of the scribe shall he lay his honor. Bear not hatred to thy neighbor for every wrong, and do nothing at all by injurious practices. Pride is hateful before God and man, and by both doth one commit iniquity. Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another.
According to the Holy Scriptures, Yahushai, the Son of the Most High, is set to bring immortality to the nation of Israel, the elect, via establishing the tabernacle of David. As we talk about the second coming of who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, he is coming to take down this current world ruled by Esau, Edom, and establish a righteous kingdom, which is synonymous with the throne of David. That's scriptural, which is a government that's going to run this world in righteousness.
But now he is risen from the dead and become the first fruits of them that slept. For since by man came death, by man came also the resurrection of the dead. For as in Adam all die, even so in Christ shall all be made alive. But every man in his own order, the first fruits, afterward they that are that is coming. Then cometh the end, when he shall have delivered after the kingdom to God, even the Father, when he shall have put down all rule and all authority and power. For he must reign till he hath put all enemies under his feet. The last enemy that shall be destroyed is death, for he hath put all things under his feet. But when he saith all things are put under him, it is manifest that he is accepted which did put all things under him. And when all things shall be subdued unto him, then shall the Son also himself be subject unto him that put all things under him, that God may be all in all.
A transfer of rulership is coming, and the kingdom of heaven will be on earth. Righteousness will be spread throughout the whole four corners of the earth. Wickedness will be put down.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Kakadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples to his own brothers. And peace and blessing, salutations to the hopeful elect out there pushing his word in truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, pushing to get up out here. Shalom to the hopeful elect, the believers, the listeners whom have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Bashim Al-Shai. All right, and what I want to get into, all right, tonight, dealing with the death agenda, all right, of Esau Edom. All right, we understand that Esau Edom is all about, death. Okay, he gets off, on, the death and the oppression and the suffering of people in the earth. Okay, this is an absolute wicked empire. And a lot of the cultures, okay, a lot of the things that we see within this society, within this culture of today, stems back to wickedness, and particular seeds of wickedness that this man, all right, established, decades ago. Okay, and we're going to go into these things. All right, we always go into these things because the way we see things are now, this has been an ongoing agenda. This is a product of wicked seeds, okay, planted, all right, by Esau Edom in the earth, man. Okay, so first, let's go here. All right, let's get a couple of precepts. All right, this is the book of Psalm chapter 50 and verse. All right, this is the book of Psalm chapter 50, verse 16. It says, "But unto the wicked, the Most High said, What hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth?" All right, and Esau Edom, what he said, this is a God-fearing country, and God we trust. His president swearing on the Bible, as if he's some righteous figure in the earth. Okay, this is how the devil gets down. He presents himself to the world, as if, like I say, he's this God-fearing man. Okay, but what God are they talking about? All right, they're not talking about the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. They're talking about Satan, the God of death, chaos, and confusion. And that's why you see death, chaos, and confusion as a culture within the West, man. Okay, this is a culture within the West, man. Death, chaos, and confusion. You see, and what we see happening now is the devil just coming straight out, man, and let you know that he's all for Satan. Okay, verse 17 says, "Seeing thou hatest instruction and cast my words behind thee," and this man is anti-Messiah. Okay, every agenda that this man has on the book that he's pushing to normalize and make a cultural norm is anti-Messiah, is anti-life, is anti-righteousness, is completely against the Bible. But he presents himself, he has presented himself to the world as what? An angel of light, as the scriptures say. And let's get this. I got a few videos to play as well. Okay, this is 2 Corinthians 11 and 14. It says, "And no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light." Okay, and the angel is a messenger. Okay, and light represents a particular wisdom of knowledge. And see, Esau, he portrays himself as this messenger of this helpful knowledge. And everything that he presents as if it's something helpful. He came over here, all right, during the Renaissance period when he came back into power. He presented his version of Christianity as some form of light, as if he was civilizing the savages of the earth through his form of Christianity, where he's a God. Okay, he presented the feminist movement as he presented that as he was a messenger of light, man. Okay, as he was messenger of some type of good news, some gospel, some liberation, sexual liberation. Okay, he presents himself as this messenger of this helpful wisdom, man. And then on the back end, it destroys everything, man. Okay, on the back end, it completely destroys everything. So let's go here. All right, and then we'll get into the videos. I want to get a couple more precepts. And I got to be on this channel a little more. Like I said, I got to subscribe on the GMS Kingdom Minded, so I'll be down on that channel for 2 weeks. So I'll be on this channel a little more. But let's go here to get this in Sirach, the 12th chapter. Now you get Sirach 12 and 16. It says, "The enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips," going back to that angel of light. Okay, here it is. There's no nation that hates you niggas more than these Edomites, but they always come to you niggas with smooth words, man. Okay, especially the Democrat Party, man. And we're gonna go into the true ideology of Democrats, man. Okay, which they have the worst, the most wicked, vile, violent, perverse agenda against you niggas, man. Okay, but they get on CNN and speak sweet words to you niggas, man, as if they care. Okay, they speak it sweetly with his lip, but in his heart was in their mind. He imagined how to throw them into a pit, man. Okay, which that's in a, a helpless situation, man. It says he will weep with his eyes. Yeah, he will have this, fake sympathy for you. But if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood. And if he sees an opening, because he disarms you by acting as if he's sympathetic towards your situation, okay? Well, every time he gets an opportunity, man, he puts you in a situation of what? Confusion, death, and chaos, man. Okay? It says, if adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first. And though he pretend to help thee, yet shall he undermine thee. Okay? And he has master pretending to help, to present this new ideology, a new way of thinking as if it's for your benefit, but it's to undermine you. Okay? And no one has been duped worse, okay, than the women of the tribes. No one has been duped worse than them. Okay? To the point he weaponized the women against their own nation. He weaponized the Israelite woman, all right, to be on the front line of a war against their own nation, man. Through what? Their mindset. By conquering their mind. Okay? There's nobody that's been deceived more than a woman. That's why it's written like that. I think it's the book of Timothy. Okay? For brother can post it real quick. All right? Just as he did in the garden as the serpent, he brought the BS through the woman. He did the same thing in this time, man. Okay, now the whole nation is undermined. You see? But these things had to play out. Okay, verse 18 says he will shake his head and clap his hands and whisper much and change his countenance, man. All right, and this is what these devils are doing. We're seeing them get ready to change their countenance from them sweet words to just coming directly at niggas, man. That's why we're in the time of Jacob's trouble, man. Well, Esau just finna get busy with niggas, man. Ain't gonna be no more schemes. He just finna come get busy with you niggas, man. Okay? Because you niggas trust this man. Okay? So let's load up a few of these videos. All right. Man, come on, man. So let's get this. All right, this is GMS Shah Lakama. All right, 1 Timothy 2:14. It says, and Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived was in the transgression, man. So we're going to go into these things and show, all right, that Esau always takes the angle at the woman, because why? The woman is easy manipulated. Okay? With a woman, you can pretty much talk in a particular way. You see? You can sell dream, Jake. You see, you can sell dreams to a woman, like you can sell a vision to a woman, and okay, how simple a goddamn woman can be, man. But that's how Esau always comes, because he knew once you get the woman out of order, then the nation would be in disorder. Okay, and he went at the woman for generations to come after. You see. Yeah, that in that generation, you didn't see, okay, what this devil was doing. In that generation, when he first started really, going at the woman with the sexual liberation and the equality and all these different things, okay, you really couldn't, you didn't see it in that generation. And then you didn't see it a lot in the next generation. But then once it started to become a trend, then it became a culture. Now you see what this devil was always up to, man. Okay? So let's go from here. All right. And this ain't, a thing of bashing women. This just going into what has happened and what it's led to, man. Okay. Like I said, this is why you had that order set up. The Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shai, the Israelite man and the woman, the order protected us, all right, from our nature. Okay? Well, Israelite man and woman will have a hedge over their nature, all right, to what, man? Keep the nation intact. You see? And when Esau snatched the woman out their order, okay, will remove the man from the head, and it spiraled out of control to what we have today, man. To the point it's so bad that we got to be changed, man. It was so bad, it spiraled out of control so bad to the point to where we have to be changed. America has to be nuked. Okay, the whole generation of children that has been brought up in this culture, they gotta get. That's why it says spare not. All right, neither maid, neither child, neither young, because hey, this is a whole generation that has to be cleared out. It's a few generations got to be cleared out of Israelites, man, because of the seed that the serpent has planted, man. Okay, so let's get this one first, all right? Because you niggas, you jumped up and down, all right, for some goddamn Biden and Kamala Harris, man. Now let's see what Kamala Harris is talking about, man. Okay. Yeah, you niggas jumped up and down, all right. You the nigga woman had on the pearls, and they found out who Kamala Harris was a week before. All right, they went and got them big fake ass pearls, okay, and them long ass Chuck Taylors, man. They found out who she was a week before, but they can throw any Democrat in front of you niggas, and you niggas are with it, man. Okay, and the Democrat Party has been you niggas worst, has been you niggas nightmare in this captivity, man. Okay, the Democrat Party is where you get the 3 strikes rule. Okay, throwing you niggas away. The crime bill, which Biden was a part of that, throwing you niggas away. Okay, the 13th Amendment, all right, throwing you niggas away. You see, the alphabet agenda, which has just completely turned you niggas out. Okay, pro-abortion. Okay, you see, everything everything that we see in nigga culture, the Democrat Party has pretty much fabricated you niggas a culture, man. Okay, and it's been a culture of death, chaos, and confusion. So let's go here. All right, let's see what Kamala is. It's gonna link up to some more things, and then we're gonna get some more, all right, videos, man. You know.
When we invest in clean energy and electric vehicles and reduce population, more of our children can breathe clean air and drink clean water.
Tomorrow I shall outline what I conceive to be a sound and compelling American agenda for this new world order. For across the planet today, we find ourselves confronted not by an ideological threat or an expansionist design of a military power, but by the rising tide of global problems that threaten mankind's very survival. We face a tidal change we can hope to manage only through the spirit and mechanisms of international cooperation. The full panoply of threats to our future security and prosperity, the proliferation of deadly high-tech weapons, the accelerating degradation of our planetary environment, economic protectionism and unfair competition, overpopulation and migration, narcotics and aid. These all require, Mr. President, global solutions. Overpopulation, global solutions. Overpopulation, global solutions. Fortunately, the American people comprehend this reality, and precisely for that reason, they expect to see the strong hand of American leadership in world affairs. The United Nations, the World Bank, the International Monetary Fund, the General Agreement on Tariffs and Trade, the Marshall Plan, the World Health Organization, and a host of other worthy UN agencies.
When we invest in clean energy and electric vehicles and reduce population, more of our children can breathe clean air and drink clean water.
We could cut the number of children who die every year about 9 million to half of that if we have success on it. And the benefits there in terms of reducing sickness, reducing the population growth, it really allows the society a chance to take care of itself once you've made that intervention.
Now you see the common, theme is what? Depopulation. Okay? Depopulation. They're telling you depopulation is, all right, the agenda. Okay? And Esau runs, you go to the Methuselah theory as if the earth is overpopulated, man. Okay? And we're going to get where where Esau really planted their seed, okay, to normalize death. Now we hear about, this woman, Margaret Sanger, all right, well, she's a hero amongst the Democrat Party. Okay? She's a hero amongst the Democrat Party. And she played a major part in the way, all right, that a lot of our women of the tribes think. Okay? That mindset that they have, where they don't value the Israelite life like that, to where they get on, it's such a it is pretty much, so much dysfunction, but the seed was planted way back here. And I'll just get it. We're going to go to this whole interview. Okay? But the way that the Israelite woman, she doesn't really value, Israelite life like that. Okay? That's why she look at, all right, average Jake is, invisible, is worthless. Okay? She aborted an Israelite child with no thought about it. Okay? Why does she do these things? Because they wouldn't do an Edomite child like that. Okay? But when it comes to the life of an Israelite, the woman has been programmed to look at their life as meaningless, man. Okay? Now, let's go here. Let's go back to Margaret Sanger.
Best natural smoke.
Let's get this here. Let's go back to Margaret Sanger. So yeah, this is an old interview, and I'm gonna play parts of it, jump around, and then we'll play another video after this, man. Okay? Well, this is the hero of you niggas' beloved Democrat Party, man. All right, and niggas don't know what they voting for, who they voted for, what those people believe. Niggas is just keeping up with tradition, man. Okay? With them same tired ass excuses. People died for us to vote. Well, them niggas gonna die anyway. Okay, would them niggas still be living if we couldn't vote? Okay. So let me blow this up. I believe it's like the 7th. And you're gonna hear this devil talk, man. All right. And she's another one of these gorgeous Edomites, man. You know? And I wish I need to do a lineup of all these Edomites that taught, you know, the woman how to think. They taught the nigga woman how to think, you know? And it's a group of absolutely gorgeous Edomites. Betty, all right, Friedman, okay, when she was heavy with the women's liberation. Gloria Steinem, which was a CIA agent, okay, and then you have Margaret Sanger, man. Okay, these are the 3 Edomite women that shape, all right, the minds of the modern nigga woman today, man. Okay. So I'm let this play.
Question is a great concern today, and the rate at which the births come in to we're saving them now. At one time, when children died, they didn't have the food. Today, our population all over the world is getting certainly better consideration and better conditions than they had.
He's going to go with the argument that birth control was used to stop starvation. Okay? This is their argument. You see? They present themselves as if, look, we're here to help the earth. We're here to help humanity, man. But nah, they had an agenda and they had a target. And it was to target Israel, man. Okay? Matter of fact, let's get those, let's get that in the book of Exodus. All right, let's get this in the book of Exodus, chapter 1, verses 9 through 12.
Not even a doctor had a right to use the United States mails and common carriers for books, for learning, for anything that he had to do with this question. It was considered obscene. The whole question was considered obscene.
Mrs. Sanger, you have helped to spread the birth control movement not only here in the United States, but in Europe and the Orient as well. Why? Why is birth control of such vital importance internationally? Is it just to save women suffering? Is that the only reason in your mind?
Well, not entirely. The population question is a great concern today, and the rate at which the births come in to we're saving them now. At one time, when children died, they didn't have the food. Today, our population all over the world is getting certainly better consideration and better conditions than they had at the time that I was there. I went to every country because I was invited. And I didn't go into the country myself. I was invited to go to Japan and to speak there, have 8 lectures on the question of birth control and peace.
Well, do you believe that birth control is essential if we want to keep millions of people across the world from starving? Is that your thesis?
Say it again.
Do you feel that birth control is essential to keep millions of people across the world from starving?
Well, I think the birth control, if you keep your population more or less static until you pick up your resources, certainly you'll keep prevent their starving.
Well, what's more important, birth control or picking up the resources?
Well, picking up the resources, there's just a limit to that, too. There's just so much. Take Japan. And she cannot feed. They've had the best experts come there when MacArthur was there. Mm-hmm. The best experts have said they have 20 million more people than they can feed. She's got to be fed outside, and in some way, she's got to have that kind of help if she's going to keep them from fighting.
But certainly around the world, there is potential agricultural land that is not being properly used now. Just this past year, on May 21st, the New York Times summarized an important study of the world's food resources made by Professor James Bonner of the California Institute of Technology. Professor Bonner says the world is not using 1 billion acres of potential agricultural land, and he adds that if this land were used and present agricultural land were improved, the entire world could be fed adequately, even if the population increased by 1/3 in the next 50 years.
Oh, Mr. Wallace, you hear so many fantastic things of what can happen, what may.
And see, she was cut, all right, because she's pushing, they have, Japan has more people than they can feed, all right. And then you had this particular expert, in agriculture technology, and he was like, look, there's 1 billion acres. You know how much 1 billion acres is, man? Okay. Just see how much 100 acres is, man. Because an acre is about the size of a football field. Okay, so imagine 1 billion acres, okay, that can be used for agriculture. And then he said, well, if there was a better management of the current lands being used for agriculture, it would yield more. Okay, so this whole overpopulation, okay, madness is some BS. Okay, it's some BS, man. All right, and at the end of the day, this agenda was meant to limit the birth of Israelites. Okay, and then he said, and then what did she say? She said, I went around the world and see, when you see people like Margaret Sanger, she's not the mastermind behind this plan, because you can tell she ain't the sharpest. Okay, she's just the front woman, all right, the figurehead of an agenda. Okay, they put her out there as a figurehead to push a particular idea to infiltrate societies, man. Okay, and what society did this infiltrate the most? What people did this infiltrate the most, man? Okay, the tribes, man. Okay, especially the nigger woman in America, man. Okay, so let's get a few precepts, then we'll go back and play a little bit of that. I'm gonna jump to another part and play it. Then you got another video. So we'll get back to that. Let's get to some precepts, man. All right, this is nothing new under the sun. Okay, and these devils know, and these devils, you see, they know, all right, who we are, man. All right, and they know as a people, okay, how we move. This is Exodus 1:9. All right, well, I start at 7. It says, and the children of Israel were fruitful and increased abundantly and multiplied and waxed exceeding mighty. All right, and the land was filled with them. Okay, and these devils are seeing this today. Okay, but from the beginning, what did the Lord say? All right, what did the Lord say in the beginning? All right, this is the book of Genesis 3. No, this is the book of Genesis chapter 1. All right, verse. Let's start at 20. Okay. The first Genesis 1:20 says, the Most High said, let the waters bring forth abundantly the moving creatures that have life, and the fowl that may fly above the earth in the open firmament of heaven. And the Alahayim, like this was the Alahayim, Yahushua and the angels. And the Alahayim created great wells in every living creature that moved, which the waters brought forth abundantly after their kind, and every winged fowl after his kind. And the Alahayim saw that it was good. And see, that's another thing. In the beginning, everything that was created was good. The order it was created in, Esau was saying, "Nah, we're gonna switch it up. We're gonna create a new order. We're gonna create new sexes. We're gonna clone meat. We're gonna 3D print meat. Okay, because meat is a resource that produces itself. Okay, and the Alahayim is seeing these things. Okay, it's good. Okay." So you go to the word good in the Hebrew is tawab, all right, which is pleasant, agreeable, okay, good, excellent, okay, appropriate. You see, glad, happy, prosperous, okay, as a man's sensuous nature, okay. You see, so everything was on point. Everything that we need in the earth was established at the beginning. The abundance, and it was in abundance. It says in the evening and the morning were the fifth day. Okay? Matter of fact, it's like I need verse 22. So like verse 22, it says, "The Alahayim blessed them, saying, be fruitful and do what? And multiply and fill the waters in the seas and let the fowl multiply in the earth," man. Look at how animals produce, man. The lawful fish that we can eat, they lay thousands of eggs at a time. Okay? Chickens, they lay eggs every other day. You see? The bulls, they're 10 months old. The bull is ready, to start mating with the heifers, man. In 10 months. A 10-month-old bull. Okay? The food reproduces itself way faster than we can. Okay? And it's set up like that for abundance. The resources, they reproduce themselves way faster than we can. But what does Esau do? He hoards the resources. Okay? Poor management of resources, man. All right. Verse 23 says, "In the evening and the morning, all right, were the fifth day." Let's see. So let's keep going. And the Alahayim said, "Let the earth bring forth the living creature after his kind, cattle and creeping things and beasts of the earth after his kind." And it was so. And the Alahayim made the beasts of the earth after his kind, and the cattle after their kind, and everything that creepeth upon the earth after his kind. And the Alahayim saw that it was good. And the Alahayim said, "Let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon earth." Okay? You see? All right? Because the men have a higher intelligence than beasts. Okay? They got different they have more senses, okay, than the beast. Okay? Because if you're going to have dominion over someone, you will have to be more intelligent. Okay? So that's why men operate on a different level of intelligence than animals, man. Okay? Verse 27, "So the Alahayim created man in his own image, in the image of the Alahayim created he him, Male and female created he them. And this is, before Adam. Okay? It says, and the Elohim blessed them and said unto them, be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth and subdue it and have dominion over the fish of the sea and over the fowl of the air and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth. You see? And this is when the earth was in paradise. See, now it's so defiled, and it's so much dysfunction that, we ain't in the time of being fruitful and multiplying. But this is how the Lord established the earth, man. But Esau has, pretty much caused so much. Esau has destroyed paradise, okay? Destroys the minds of people, okay? Has put so much oppression in the earth, so much restriction in the earth that as men, as families, it's not wise to be fruitful and multiply. He set it up like that. He set it up for it to be a burden to have children. Okay? He set it up like that, man. You see? Showing you that he's completely against the order that Yahweh Bashim Al-Shah established in the earth. If a brother can post that for me, I think there's Wisdom of Solomon. Let me go back to the Exodus. But if a brother can post that Wisdom of Solomon, all right. Yeah, let's get Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1, verse 1. Baba Shah. So I'm going to read this in Exodus 1-7. Again, it says, and the children of Israel were fruitful, okay, and increased abundantly and multiplied and waxed exceeding mightily, and the land was filled with them. Now there arose up a new king over Egypt, which knew not Joseph. And he said unto his people, behold, the people of the children of Israel are more mightier, okay, are more and mightier than we. And these devils know that. Okay? These Egyptians, they can see. It ain't hard to tell. Like, okay, look, we can't just let them just, have a free fall. Like, we got to put a cap on it, man. Okay? Showing you that's why Esau, all right, is known as the modern Pharaoh of today. It says, come and let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply, and it come to pass that when they fall out any war, they join also unto our enemies, all right, and fight against us, and so get them up out of the land. Therefore they did set over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens, and they built for Pharaoh treasure cities, Pithom and Ramses. But the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew, and they were grieved because of the children of Israel. And the Egyptians made the children of Israel to serve with rigor, and they made their lives bitter with hard bondage and mortar and in brick and in manner of service in the field. All their service wherein they made them to serve was with rigor. And the king of Egypt spake to the Hebrew midwives, of which the name of one, all right, was Shiphrah, or all right, Shapara in the Hebrew, and the name of the other was Puah. Okay? And he said, when ye do the office of a midwife to the Hebrew women, and seat them upon the stools, if it be a son, then ye shall kill him. Okay? Because they understood that the power was within the man. Okay? And why you think one of the biggest feminist agendas was to do what? Demonize the men, to belittle the men, to undermine the men, to where you had the Israelite woman screaming what? The hell with a man. F niggas, man. Niggas ain't shit. Niggas ain't, It was a major agenda against, undermining and belittling the man. Okay? But these nations know that power is transferred from the men. Okay, the men of the Babylonians took the kingdom from the men of the Assyrians. The men of the Medo-Persian Empire took the kingdom from the Babylonians. The men of the Greeks took the empire from, all right, the Medo-Persians. Okay? These nations and rulers know these things, man. Okay? But when you just think on the level of Martin, you know, because you look at Martin, all right, what did you have? You had Martin and Gina, no kids. Tommy and Pam, no kids. There's a bunch of goddamn adults, all right, simple as hell, man. Being goofy, okay? Living single. You look at living single, what did you have? Those 4 women, okay? No children. And them 2 simple ass niggas, Overton and Kyle Barker, man. That's the way, you know, our people was programmed to think. You see? And it was Amalek behind a lot of those TV shows, man. Okay? It says, but if it be a daughter, then she shall live, because the woman just gonna be a what? Servant. She's easy to manipulate. She just gonna the woman is just gonna assimilate to whatever power structure that's in place. Okay, that's what the woman is. The woman ain't gonna conjure up no rebellion. The woman is gonna flow to wherever the power is going. Okay, so they will let the women live. The women, the women children live. Okay, it said, but the midwives feared the Most High and did not as the king of Egypt commanded them, but saved the men children alive. Okay, because look, those women understood the value of Israelite men. Okay, they saved the men children alive. But see, now the minds of the Israelite woman is so warped. What did she do? What did she do? Okay, first she, that's it. Yeah, first, all right, they abort, all right, the child. Okay, and then the child does come. You see, it's raised in what? A condition of failure, man. Okay, well, pretty much, majority of the time is a single mother household. You see, because of the woman decision making, which that has been exposed. The woman decision making, her type. Okay, so Esau knew what he was doing when he was coming with this birth control, man. But now they don't have to wait on the children to come out to slaughter them. Nah, they just slaughter them before, or birth control to where the body doesn't function properly. Okay, or you get your tubes tied. Okay, and what kind of culture did this create? Because now that trickled into women being able to have, multiple partners, multiple men, just letting off in women. You see? And now you have women with all these different spirits on them, man. Like the brother made the joke, like, he said, you get into a woman, and he'll be like, shit, which one of these niggas I'm arguing with? Like that's all these things. See what Esau did, going back, even when you go to the Tower of Babel, going to Nimrod. Nimrod was building that tower to try to sidestep the judgment of the Most High, to still be able to live and do what they want, but not have to deal with the consequences that came with it. That was the rebellion of Nimrod in trying to build, all right, the Tower of Baal. Okay? Then, all right, you have in this society, well, you have the birth control, you tubes tied, abortions, to where you can live how you want, still do what you want, but enjoy, okay, your pleasures, man, without having to deal with consequence. But the Most High, when you go into the law, there's a science to it. This is what we learn. There's a reason why you shouldn't be doing that. Okay? And that's why I say it's so out of hand now. To the Lord just got to reset this place, man. That's why, as brothers, our mind just got to be on the reset, because everything here has been so damaged and defiled to, you know, the only hope is the reset. You see? So let's go back to the video. And you know, some of you sisters that, you know, have did those things, that's the point of repentance, and that's show you the value of Yahushua. You know, that should make us value Yahushua more, man. Okay, now let's go here. You know, and I said that's the value of repenting. You know, because we all was in ignorance making decisions, man. Okay, but we just showing what we're going through, just showing you the agenda that was always behind this, man. All right. Now, when you go to this the brother Bayan Yasha'Allah, Wisdom Solomon 1:1 said, "Love righteousness, ye that be judges of the earth. Think of the Lord with a good heart, which is a good mind, and in simplicity of heart seek Him." See, the Lord has everything set up in simplicity, man. You know, Esau is a lot of the problems that we see in the earth is Esau tampering with shit, man. If he would just get out the way and let nature have its course, okay, let order, you know, have its course, a lot of things is already systematic. A lot of things in nature are systematically in order to run. Okay, when you have order, structure, and just allow nature to have its course, man. Okay, but he's all in the midst, tampering it, you know, doing all types. Even gynecologist off, man. Ain't the instruments ain't supposed to be all in the woman, man. Okay, he's off, man. Everything this man has set up is off, man. Okay, so let's go back to it. All right, let's go back to gorgeous Margaret Sanger.
May happen. This and that, I've heard it for the last 30 years anyway, to what could be done, but it's never done. And the thing is, what is it now? What have we got today? A very distinguished woman spoke to me about Arizona. And she said, "I wish you wouldn't talk about population." She said, "All the population of the United States can be put in one state." And I said, "What state?" She said, "Arizona." I said, "Did you ever hear of Caliche?" She didn't know that I was talking about a delicatessen or what. I said, "Well, Caliche is harder than any rock, and it is about 3 inches below the ground, where it looks beautiful. It looks as if you could have food, it looks as if you could have corn or wheat or cotton, but as a matter of fact, you have to dynamite Caliche out of the ground in order to have a little shrub, have a little grass or a few flowers. So there's many problems that when it comes to that, and the demographers. I never heard of anyone that would agree with that we could have another in the world. Another third.
Well, you say that originally the opposition was in all law, and you have to fight against that. Today, your opposition stems mainly from where? From what source?
Well, I think that the opposition is mainly from the hierarchy of the Roman Catholic Church.
Of the church. Well, now
Hierarchy.
of the hierarchy of the church. You feel that the parishioners themselves, the lay people in the church, are not against birth control.
I feel they come to all of our clinics just the same as the non-Catholics do. Exactly the same.
Well, let's look at the official Catholic position, opposition to birth control. I read now from a church publication called The Question Box. In forbidding birth control, it says the following. It says, the immediate purpose and primary end of marriage is the begetting of children. When the marital relation is so used as to render the fulfillment of its purposes impossible, that is by birth control, it is used unethically and unnaturally. Now, what's wrong with that position?
Well, it's very wrong. It's not normal. It's not, it has a wrong attitude toward marriage, toward love, toward the relationships between men and women.
Well, the natural law, they say, is that, first of all, the primary function of sex in marriage is to beget children. Do you disagree with that?
I disagree with it 100%.
Your feeling is what, then?
My feeling is love and the attraction between men and women. In many cases, the very finest relationship has nothing to do with bearing a child.
You see that? So if a brother could put that Psalms 113, all right, put Psalms 113 and 9. Okay. Psalms 113 and 9. And let's get also the book of Genesis. Let's get the book of Genesis chapter 30. Okay. Verses 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Genesis 1, 2, and 3. And see, this is now you see the way that women think, that the modern women think. This is where it stems from. Okay? This is why they get on the birth control, the tubes tied, so they can still have their fun, because now the relationship is about them having fun now. About the man and woman having fun now. No legacy, no children. It's just about having fun, because a lot of the children we see, these children, these wasn't intentional. Okay, like a lot of these, these little niggas running around, like it wasn't intentional. Okay, the birth control failed, the things failed, and you have these little niggas running around today, man. It wasn't intentional, man, because now it's all about, like I say, they Martin, Gina and Martin. That's the standard of a relationship in nigga culture, man. Okay? Casual dating, you have this man, this certain amount of years, this man, this amount of time, this man, this amount of time, this man, this amount of time. Okay? A bunch of randomness, man. But what enabled that to happen? What allowed these things to happen, man? This going back to the seed planted by the serpent, man. Okay? So let's read. It's the brother Number 1. Psalms 113 and 9 says, he maketh the barren woman to keep house and to be a joyful mother of children. Praise ye the Lord. Okay, that's what the woman was created to do. And see, women get offended. I'm more than that. I'm more than that. Okay, you had your opportunity to be more than that. What have you become? Okay, what the hell have you women become? Esau gave you the liberty to become more than, a joyful mother. What have you become? Okay, and that's a sincere question. What have you become? You see? Esau tricked you, and then see the woman, as I move around a lot more now, and one thing I'm noticing, the women that are that have the most, joyful spirits on is the women that I see that's in the natural order. Okay? The women that or wives that are in a more traditional order, those are the most joyful women on the earth. Those are the most, just sweet, kind, they're sincere feminine, not that acting and, that forced femininity, that they're sincere, they're joyful. It be the women that's in the traditional order. Okay? Because the Lord set it up like that. That's a joyful order. A woman in order is this a woman being that's why a woman being in order that brings that joy. Just like as an Israelite man, so much confidence and purpose, has been added to us as Israelite men because we in our order now. Now we're making sense of these things. Now we have a joy that no one can take. Okay? Esau pushed that being out of order, as if being in order was being oppressed, man. Okay? Then you look at the women that are out of order, they're bitter. Okay? They're in terrible situations. All right? They're raising monster after monster. Okay? Used up. You see? Traumatized. Okay? So the sincere question, what have you become since you have been liberated? You see? Let's go here. This is on the brother beyond Yasha'Allah, Genesis 30:1. It says, when Rachel saw that she bare Jacob no children, Rachel envied her sister and said unto Jacob, give me children or else I die. Okay? Our foremothers understood legacy. They understood purpose. Okay? And guess what? Rachel was given to Jacob. Okay? Because Jacob worked for Rachel. Okay? As he had got a sister, Laban was, finessing that, they got. Okay? Well, she didn't get Jacob because he was no thug, no street nigga, no scammer. Okay? It wasn't set up like that. Nah, it was order and structure set up. You see? Verse 2, it says, in Jacob anger, was kindled against Rachel, and he said, am I in the Most High stead, who have withhold thee from the fruit of the womb? Because that was of the Most High. Because guess what? They was doing the act. Okay? But it was the Most High. It was of the Most High if, he allowed that seed to catch, man. To allow that seed to take root in the egg and produce, life. That was the Most High's decision. But guess what? Esau said, nah, that's going to be your decision. Going back to the serpent. Okay? Nah, you can be a God. It's your decision. You see? It's your decision on what you want to do. If you want to bring life, it's your decision. You see? Goddamn devil, man. It says, and she said, behold, my maid Bala, go into her, so she shall bear upon my knees, that I may also have children by her. Okay? That's what the purpose was childbearing, man. And what the scriptures say, women, whoa, that's a spirit. I was just going to ask for it, man. 1 Timothy 2:15 is your brother, I'm a one. But women will be saved through what? Childbearing. Okay? Women going back to their purpose, man. Which is a beautiful order. Is it just going to be, they're going to be constantly just on their back popping out babies? No. But that's the glory of a woman, to bear seed. And as Israelite men, all we're going to produce is kings and princesses, man. Okay? eternally blessed, assuming that they continue to live in faith, love, holiness, and modesty, man. Okay, and you have the Lord put the spirit on women and on a few sisters get back in order, man. You know, despite what they done. All right. I say this is not, a lesson to the shame. This is a lesson just to bring out the facts, man. What's happening, what has happened, and what's happening, and what these devils is planning on doing, man. The spirit just on this nigga for all the wickedness, man, that he just perpetuates through the earth. Okay? So I'm gonna jump up a little bit in this interview.
It's secondary. Many, many times we know that. You see your birth rate, you talk to people who have very happy marriages and they're not having babies every year. Yes, I think that's a celibate attitude.
Surely. A celibate attitude, but you agree that Catholicism, according to the tenets of Catholicism, they rule that birth control violates not only the church's position, it isn't the church's position, but they say that it violates a natural law, as I have just explained. Therefore, birth control is a sin, no matter who practices it. Now, the violation of the natural law, according, you certainly can take no issue with the natural law as the hierarchy of the Catholic Church regards it.
Well, I certainly do take issue with it. I think it's untrue, and I think it's unnatural.
Well, let me ask you...
bears it out that it's an unnatural attitude to take. And how do they know? I mean, after all, they're celibates. They don't know love. They don't know marriage. They know nothing about bringing up children or any of the marriage problems of life. And yet they speak to people as if they were God.
Oh, they're speaking as if they're God. Okay, it was a Roman Catholic Church off, but you had sincere, people in positions, certain positions back then. It wasn't as corrupted. We know for sure that from the Pope, you get to that, but at the end of the day, you had a fight against these things, man. What they were trying to bring. Okay? But now let's go here a little further. We'll get a few more minutes of this.
For the love of God.
All right. I don't quote what they do. So I think that the question in my mind is that they do and order their own people to do as they wish. But I object to their having the same rules for people who are not the same religion.
Well, they believe, you see, that it is a natural law, not a Catholic law, but a natural law. And therefore a sin not just for Catholics, but a sin for all peoples. And I think that there are other religious groups, the very, very Orthodox Jews feel the same way about birth control. Let's look at another argument against birth control, Mrs. Sanger, published in Red Book magazine in March of 1956. It says birth control is a devastating social force which tends to weaken the moral fiber of the community. Immunity from parenthood encourages promiscuity, particularly when unmarried persons can so easily avail themselves of the devices. Do you doubt that?
I doubt it.
You do?
Certainly.
Then let me read from a news story in the Philadelphia Daily News on June 10th, 1942. The story quotes you as urging the Women's Army Auxiliary Corps to give its members, quote, preventive measures against pregnancy, end quote. And you add, quote, abortion and illegitimacy are bound to result if the government doesn't recognize human nature, end quote. In other words, you were not advocating Christian morality, but rather ways for single women to avoid bearing illegitimate children.
Where was this taken from?
Philadelphia Daily News, June 10, 19.
You see that? She was cut, and now she just finna lie. Okay, let's run it back. Because, see, she advocated for single women, okay, to have access to these birth control devices. She was advocating for that. Okay? So you can have these broken homes. Okay? You see that? So you can have this dysfunction. She was advocating for single women to do that, so what? They can be promiscuous, man. Okay? And they knew the effects of that. All right? They knew the effects of that. This is why, going back to it, nature stopped you from doing, because you couldn't do that, because why? There was a chance that you could create something. So you couldn't just be loose. Okay? Because there was a chance you could create something. Okay? You couldn't just be sexually irresponsible. And they protected you in the long run. They protected, okay, the woman in the long run. Because now what do you have? You have a population of women that it's impossible for them to pair bond. It's impossible for them to be with one man. It's impossible. Okay? They're way beyond, finished. You see? Because there's so many devices and safety nets that allow them to be what? All right, promiscuous. And even, okay, the children does come where there's aid. Okay? The government pick up the tab. You see? So let's rewind it back, because he's quoting something she said, and now she don't remember, man. He's a goddamn devil, man.
Can so easily avail themselves of the devices. Do you doubt that?
I doubt it.
You do?
Certainly.
Then let me read from a news story in the Philadelphia Daily News on June 10th, 1942. The story quotes you as urging the Women's Army Auxiliary Corps to give its members, quote, preventive measures against pregnancy, end quote. And you add, quote, abortion and illegitimacy are bound to result if the government doesn't recognize human nature, end quote. In other words, you were not advocating Christian morality, but rather ways for single women to avoid bearing illegitimate children.
Where was this taken from?
Philadelphia Daily News, June 10, 1942, direct quote from Margaret Sanger.
I doubt it. I don't believe I ever made such a remark.
Well, in the same vein, in your autobiography, which you cannot disavow, you wrote the following about sexologist Havelock Ellis. You said he's been able to clarify the question of sex and free it from the smudginess connected with it from the beginning of Christianity. Now, what do you mean by the smudginess connected with sex, and why do you blame it on Christianity?
Well, there's many reasons, of course, to say we have more records of it from the dawn of Christianity. And I think I was speaking of Havelock Ellis as having clarified the question of homosexuals, making the thing not exactly a perverted thing, but a thing that a person is born with, different kinds of eyes, different kinds of structure, and so forth. That he didn't make all homosexuals perverts. I felt that he helped clarify that to the medical profession and to the scientists of the world, as perhaps one of the first ones to do that. That was one of the things that I meant in that.
Mrs. Sanger, do you disagree that Catholics, or do you feel that Catholics should not have a right to have a say when a city administration contemplates spending their tax dollars on birth control or the dissemination of birth control information, something that Catholics believe is sinful?
If they have a right to say what they...
Do you feel that they don't have a right to have a say when a city administration contemplates spending their dollars, tax dollars, on birth control? For instance, here in New York, Catholics comprise about 45% of our population. They're the largest single group. Well, don't you think they should have the democratic right to lobby against having their money spent, their tax money spent, for something that they consider evil?
Well, I suppose they have a right. They certainly do it. But so have the others. They're only 45% of the population. That is not the majority.
But they have a right to get up and...
Certainly. I'd have no objection to their having them say that, but I think we should have the same right. I say we, I mean non-Catholics.
So it's pretty much the point. with that one. I put the link, if you want to watch the whole thing, it's about 30 minutes long. So I got another quick one and then get some precepts. Play about 7 minutes off this one. Okay, it's kind of reiterate. All right, this devil, like I said, well, she's nothing but a front man of a bigger agenda.
Of different races and classes. As founder of the American Birth Control League, which later became Planned Parenthood, Margaret Sanger was no doubt a controversial figure with disturbing views on eugenics, race, and population control. While some argue she even wanted to exterminate the Black race, others are trying to erase that part of her past.
The Mike Wallace interview. In the eyes of some, Margaret Sanger has been a heroine. In the eyes of others, she's been a destructive force.
In her own words, Sanger pushed for a society that limited births to those she deemed fit to have children.
I think the greatest sin in the world is bringing children into the world that have disease from their parents, that have no chance in the world, a human being practically.
She said the greatest sin is bringing children into the world. Okay? Oh, boy. Let's run it back, man. Now, she's going to give you a rundown, and you let me know who she's talking about, man. Okay?
She deemed fit to have children.
I think the greatest sin in the world is bringing children into the world that have disease from their parents, that have no chance in the world to be a human being, practically. Delinquents, prisoners, all sorts of things, just marked when they're born.
In 1916, Sanger opened the country's first birth control clinic. As a member of the American Eugenics Society, she advocated improving the genetic composition of humans through controlled reproduction of different races and classes. She often wrote about the issue in the journal she founded, called the Birth Control Review. In 1919, writing,
I personally believe in the sterilization of the feeble-minded, the insane, and the syphilitic. The most urgent problem today is how to limit and discourage the over-fertility of the mentally and physically defective.
Many point to a 1923 New York Times interview.
The insane and the syphilitic. The most urgent problem today is how to limit and discourage the over-fertility of the mentally and physically defective.
How to discourage, okay, the over-fertility, who she's talking about. Okay? Who's the most fertile on the block? You see? The Israelite woman. Okay, of the mentally, all right, what they say, you 3/5 of a human, and physically defective. Who is she speaking of? So it was always an agenda to discourage, all right, to discourage what, man? The legacy of Israel. You see? And once they was able to get into the minds, okay, of the woman, they was able to implement this full throttle. Okay?
Many point to a 1923 New York Times interview as proof of Sanger's racist motives, in which she referred to people as weeds, saying,
It means the release and cultivation of the better racial elements in our society and the gradual suppression, elimination, and eventual extirpation of defective stocks, those human weeds which threaten the blooming of the finest flowers of American civilization.
Hayden Ludwig, an investigative researcher,
society and the gradual suppression, elimination.
She referred to people as weeds, saying,
It means the release and cultivation of the better racial elements in our society and the gradual suppression, elimination, and eventual extirpation of defective stocks, those human weeds which threaten the blooming of the finest flowers of American civilization.
So who you think she was talking about, man? Okay? But everything that these devils, all right, if a brother can get that too, we get 2 more precepts and we'll close out. All right. If you want to watch that, it's like 14 minutes. You know, I just want to hit those points. Let me copy that. All right. Well, if a brother get that in I think this Malachi. Yeah, let's get Malachi 3 and 6. And then let's get Isaiah. We can end it with Isaiah 60. Let's get Isaiah 60, verse 21 and 22. You know, because everything these devils have done, all right, to destroy us as a people, we still here. Okay? And it shows you the power of Yahweh Hashem Al Shah. Because if it was up to these devils, man, they would wipe Israel completely out of the earth. You know, they would completely put an end of the lineage of Israel if it was within these devils' hand. You know, when they did many things to attempt that. Okay, so let's get this. This is the brother Corner Waff, GMS Prayer Always Hopeful. Let Malachi 3 and 6. For I am the Lord, Yahweh Shem Al Shai, change not. Therefore, ye sons of Jacob are not consumed. We're not consumed because the Lord changed not, because he made a promise to our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, that what we will be as the sand of the sea. Okay? Ooh, brother got that in NLT heat. You know, so the Lord promised we will be as the sand of the sea. Okay? And that we will rule eternally, man. All right, Yahweh Shai, you know, Daniel 7, 13, 14, what was given to him, a kingdom that shall not be destroyed. We're going to be joint heirs in that kingdom. Okay? So what this devil is doing, all right, it never had a chance to succeed, man. Okay, he destroyed us. You know, we finished. We in a very low state. Okay? Due to, you know, what this devil has done, you know, the crack, you know, the feminist movement, the thug movement, thug culture, you know, we have been degraded and defiled tremendously. Okay, but we still here, you know. we still here, man. But see, the Lord is going to change these vile bodies. If a brother can get that, I think Philippians 3 and 21. You know, because we go through these things just to show, like I said, the agenda behind these ideologies, man, that used to dominate us, man. Okay? And this is why we should, you know, appreciate repentance more and more. You know, because this devil had us in complete darkness, man, creating, you know, doing some heavy offenses against Yahweh Shem Al Shai. You know, but through repentance, okay, guess what? The Lord he's gonna clean us up. He's cleaning us up now. He's cleaning our mind. These bodies, that's why we're gonna shed these bodies, man. Okay? This is Malachi 3 and 6. It says, I'm the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shai, and I do not change. That is why you descendants of Jacob are not already destroyed. This is the reason why we're able to be here, man. Because the Lord changes not. So no matter what agenda they got, okay, what type of ideology they try to infiltrate, that they infiltrate our people with, yeah, it's going to affect us. But guess what? It has affected us, but we're still here. And if we still here, there's a hope, Isaiah 16:21 says, thy people also shall be righteous. They shall inherit the land forever. The branch of my planting, the work of my hands, that I may be glorified. See, the Lord's finna establish us in righteousness. It's going to be eternal. We're going to be in the new covenant. Okay? We'll never be in this condition that we in now. We'll never be in circumstances that we in now. It'll never be another ideology that'll enter into us, man, and we'll go off, man, and deviate to this defiled state that we're in now, man. It's not going to happen. We're going to be planted in righteousness eternally, man. Okay? He's going to establish us in righteousness. All right? Verse 22. It says, a little one shall become 1,000, and a small one a strong nation. I, the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai, will hasten it in this time. And this is going to be in the kingdom. And this is why I say, like, don't be discouraged about, whatever, we can't be discouraged about what we did in the past. Now it's about, okay, understanding, okay, having the understanding, and looking forward, all right, to being what Yahweh Shema Shai intended us to be for men and women. Now we should be understanding our purpose in this thing, man. Okay? That's why when you go to Philippians, all right, matter of fact, brother, put verse 20 up there as well. Bible shot. Philippians 3 and 20. Then we read that in 21. And we'll end it on that, And this is why, we go through these things. It's harsh, it is what it is. We get cut every day, B. We make the adjustments, baby. You see? Yeah, what's it, brother? Put that. Brother, put Philippians 3:20 up. The water Aki. This is on GMS prayer. Always hope for elect. Philippians 3:20. It says, for our conversation is in heaven, from whence also we look for the Savior, the Lord Yahweh Shai Mashiach. And this is where our conversation is at, man. This is where our mind is at. This is what we're speaking on. These are the things that we're becoming. Okay? Because our past is through. We, everyone can look in their past and be like, God damn. We look at our past mistakes, it's like, God damn. But see, it was all we was all pretty much coerced into this way of thinking and this decision making, man. But it gives more value to Yahweh Shai and what he did on the cross, man, to what we can be redeemed from even, some of the vilest things, man. Men and women. You see? But when Kamala went into that, man, and then that Margaret Sanger video popped up, I said, damn, it's the link, But see, now our conversation, our mindset is in the world to come. We should be excited about the reset to now we get to execute in righteousness, man. Okay, as men, we're not just around here with the hookup culture that, that playboy spirit. Nah, man, we're judges, we're joint heirs, we're husbands, we're priests now. Okay, we're not just popping women and moving on and just just out here just that Johnny Bravo. Nah, man, we really now we appreciate the full responsibility come with it. Okay, you see, verse 21, it says. Philippians 3:21 says, who shall change our vile body Okay? He's going to change these vile bodies, man. Everything is going to be refreshed. Everything is going to be renewed. Okay? That it may be fashioned like unto his glorious body, according to the working whereby he is able even to subdue all things unto himself, man. So we finna put these vile bodies off and put on their glorious body, man. Okay? And that's the hope. And see, we in this situation so we can hope for that change, man. Okay, not to mope and just wallow in the past, man. It is what it is now. Shit, it's done. You see? Now we just can hope in the change, man. You see? So Lord willing, this was edifying. I just wanted to bring that out, just to go into, like I say, the agenda of death, from Esau Edom. And it was always a play on the tribes, man. Okay? So Lord will you brothers and you few sisters edified till the next time I say Shalom. Kwam Yashala, Bob, DTA, Sum, Shalom.